welcome to Rockafellas Barbershop. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be blessed and be glad in Him. Today I want to introduce myself. My name is Rico Rodriguez at Rockafellas Barbershop here in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road. My phone number is 210-782-5188. Come out and get your haircut here at Rockafellas Barbershop. You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast on iHeartradio.
In the open field where everyone has gathered, I find there's no one there for me. Locked away in my room, I try not to think about the reasons why I'm on my knees. And in all honesty, I've been searching for someone like me. To be honest with me now is the only way to climb back to the light and face the day. 'Cause I struggle just to stay alive and keep my sanity. 'Cause without you in my life, who am I to be? And in all honesty, I've been searching for someone like me. Barely breathing, surrendering everything to you, hoping that this wish just might come true. And in all honesty, I've been searching for someone to set me free.
You are listening to I Am Refocused podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
This is I Am Refocused podcast, and today is a special edition because, as you guys know, on Thursdays we usually are at the barbershop with Rico Rodriguez. The barbershop is Rockafellas, so big shout out to them, one of our main partners. But today we're going to have a special music guest, and before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Miss Kim, River City Donuts here in San Antonio, and Mr. Baby McClinton, the owner of All Sports Speed and Conditioning, and last but not least, one of our new sponsors, D.W. Brooks Funeral Home. And today we have Mr. JJ McGuigan. He is a music artist, and this guy, he's a songwriter. He has won some great awards, and he's also was a VH1 finalist. Tell us about that, JJ. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, on the contest, it was a VH1. It was part of their Save the Music campaign that they had going on. You know, I still think they do have it going on, but I don't know if they still have the songwriting contest. But it was just basically a songwriting contest that I entered and was able to advance along every single round and got into the final rounds and ended up a finalist. Didn't end up winning, but it was still a pretty good experience just being named a finalist. And at the time, it was, pretty early in my career, and it gave me a lot of confidence and gave me a lot of reassurance that I was kind of okay. I'm doing the right thing. I'm not just messing around and you know, that type of deal. And so it just kind of reassured me that, you know, okay, hey, I can do this and everything. And so it was a good experience. And
you also play the drums at the age of 13. Tell us who inspired you to play the drums.
Really, it was me and my friends were just kind of sitting around, and we just wanted to form a band. And the other two played guitar, and I didn't have anything. And so I convinced my parents to get me a drum set, and first started out just taking a year on just snare only. And then just to kind of see if I would stick with it and everything, and I did, and got the full set, and just was in a school band that we formed, and we just played at parties and did that, and it was pretty fun. And then I just kind of put them down for a little bit because I was mainly concentrating on sports, but yeah, I did that at 13 is when I started, and then I picked up guitar at 19. So, and I've been playing that ever since. So,
and at 20, this is correct. You went to Newman University.
Correct. Yeah.
And also, you attended Full Sail University, which I'm jealous because I wanted to go there before, and that's a very popular school. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah. What I did was basically just was on the online classes. I wasn't actually on the campus. If you get a chance to go to the campus, though, it looks like a movie set. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. But I took the online classes and did there's a master's in entertainment business, and so it was a year-long program, and so I took that and graduated in 2014, and it's helped me out, you know, quite a bit. College itself has helped me out a lot, so it was a good experience, and the instructors were real good and well versed in what they knew and everything, so it was a good experience.
Yeah, as a songwriter, like, what's the process of songwriting? Like, what's the meat and potatoes?
Really, it's kind of, with me, it's inspiration. You know, it can strike anywhere, and you know, we all kind of know that, but there's no set process, and I try and do that, you know, purposefully, just because whatever's wanting to take form through a song, you know, you don't want to force it in a sense. Every now and then I'll force myself, if I've not written anything in, you know, a while, I'll force myself to just sit down and write, you know, a verse, chorus. Even if I keep it or if I don't, it's just part of the process of keeping, you know, your chops ready and everything. But really, you know, normally it's on guitar that I'm, you know, holding, that I'll just strum some chords to and just come up with the lyrics. And but yeah, there's no one real set process. It's just finding that when inspiration, you know, hits, I try and find what's the essence of that song, and it can be just through a couple of lines or a verse, chorus, bridge that I write in one sitting, that, you know, I can capture the essence of what it is I'm trying to say here. And that's more of a feeling thing. You just kind of feel that you have that. And I think once you got that, it's easier to write the rest of the song, because you just kind of have some direction there. And so that's just really my only set process, basically.
Mm-hmm. And your latest song, In All Honesty, tell us the backdrop of that song and how you came up with that.
Yeah, it was, you know, I've suffered from, you know, depression before, and that was really a song that was just kind of came out about from wanting to realize that, you know, as the title suggests, in a way, you know, being honest with yourself is so huge and important when you're wanting to, you know, in a sense, make things right or feel better or anything like that. And so after I'd overcome it, you know, to an extent, I just basically fell in love with the phrase, in all honesty, and just started writing that song. And it's just really about a person, you know, struggling with life, and they realize that to be honest with themselves is kind of the first place to start, to make things better, basically. So that's kind of what that song's about and everything.
And speaking on the topic of mental health, what's some of the things that you see, that you saw for yourself, that you had to just find that balance to not lose yourself, but keep yourself?
Yeah, it was basically just learning to accept myself for who I was, in a sense. Not try and please everybody or be something that I'm not, because that takes you away from your balance, and that takes you away from who it is you really are and who you're meant to be and everything, if you're trying to be somebody else. And so that was a big problem I had growing up, because when I was 16, that's when I was first diagnosed, and that's when it really got bad. And so, and then at 16, we're always, and even throughout life, we're always trying to find ourselves and where we belong and everything. And I was struggling with that big time, and some things happened, and it just hit the fan, and so it was hard for a while. But I think the main thing was just finding out who I was and accepting and loving that person, and I think that's a big lesson that we can all learn. We all do learn, in our own way, and so that the backdrop of that. And
at 16, did other people know, like friends and family, or did you keep it to yourself for a while?
Other people knew, because for about a year before that it had started, but then when it really got bad was when I let my parents know, and I went and saw a doctor, got diagnosed, and my friends knew, and some of them stuck around, some of them didn't, which is it's kind of unfortunate, but that happens. And really it was just kind of a growing up process that it strengthened me, gave me more compassion for other people, and looking back on it, I wouldn't change a thing. Going through it, though, it's hard to say that when you're going through it.
If you're just now tuning in with us, we are with McGuigan, and you said at 19 you picked up the guitar, right?
Correct, yeah.
Now, what really motivated you to try the guitar out?
Really, it was, music was there for me when it felt like no one else could reach me, and I wanted to be able to do that, and I just felt a drawing, like I was drawn to it, and mainly songwriting, and I thought guitar, let me try this out and see how it goes. And at 19, I got my guitar and started taking lessons from a guy, Randy Zellers, and a phenomenal teacher. And it just clicked with me, and I was able to express myself doing it, and just fell in love with it. And at about 22 is when I really started writing songs, with a purpose, not just to write a song, but really felt called to start writing songs. And guitar is just the one of the mediums I used to write songs and everything, and so I've just been playing guitar ever since.
And how did VH1 come into the picture?
Well, basically, it's just an online songwriting contest, and you can basically, how I found out about it was there was a commercial for it. And so I then entered, and just kind of went from there, the song that ended up doing well was a song I wrote called Rain, and that was that's the song that that's not on the EP that I have now, but it's an older song, but yeah, I was able to get to the finalist category and everything, and so it just kind of happened, and it was a good thing, definitely.
And do you still ever go and play with your friends still who were in the band, or did they kind of do their own thing?
They kind of did their own thing. None of them live here in town or anything, so I just hit up open mics when I can by myself and whatnot. And so, not in a band right now, but I'm working with my best buddy Brian Elwick, who is a phenomenal guitarist and great with melody, also great with lyrics as well. So we're working on a follow-up EP for Dissociative, the one that's out now. And so we'll get that together, and hopefully within the next 6 to 10 months or whatnot, we'll have it fully recorded and everything, and have it out there.
And going back into music in itself, what's some of the things that you really want to achieve in your music career?
Really just have my songs reach as many people as possible in the general sense. And, to me, it's not about, winning a Grammy or anything like that, because that's pretty subjective. But that'd be nice, obviously. I wouldn't turn that down. But I don't think I can set my sights on that and hone in on that, because it's a voting process. But if I can get my music out there to as many people as possible and just reach them the same way music reached me, I'll know I've succeeded then. And when I know that, or how I would know that, I think it's just more of a feel thing. And so that's really my main goal with music.
And when it comes to songwriting, say someone's listening to this particular podcast, what advice would you give to new songwriters? Some things they should learn and look out for.
Things I think anyone can learn is just basically, you'll have your own process, and you could end up having multiple types of processes for writing songs. You don't have to stick with just one. But one thing I think can work if you're struggling and you haven't written anything in a while is write to a title. Just come up with a title of a song or a theme that can inspire you, and write that at the top of the page or whatever it is you're writing on, and then focus on that. And that can get, if it doesn't get a whole song out, it can get some good lines out that you're going to use later in a song. But that's one thing that I use to help inspire me when it seems like nothing's coming up. And things to look out for is just there could be a lot of people out there that you meet that say they're going to try and help you, but you really want to use your best judgment and finding out who it is that's actually going to do that. And you may end up getting burned a few times, but don't let that discourage you. If you're writing songs and you're feel called to do that, then it's just that simple. You are called to do that, and I'd stick with it no matter what. But just be on guard for people that say that promise you a lot, but yet have nothing to show for it. So it's just that type of deal, really. So.
And you also being into mental health awareness, what some advice will you give to someone who might not feel like they're 100%, in that right state?
Yeah. I would just say, don't be afraid to reach out. There's always going to be somebody there that can help. Know that you're not alone. Know that there are people out there that do care. And just really try and be good to yourself. That's where it starts. Sometimes we go through things and we think we've messed up beyond repair or anything, but just try and be good to yourself no matter what is really the big thing. And reach out if you feel you need help. Don't just take it all in on yourself. Just reach out. There's people that do care. Trust me.
That's awesome, JJ. Man, that's good. Now, what's some of the things that you have in the new future that you have planned out?
The main thing is working with Brian and just getting that next EP out there. And we might end up getting a full band together to kind of play some shows and whatnot and everything. But really, it's mainly we've got 5 songs that we've got mostly written out that we're just wanting to get the demos done for it, and then go into the studio with that and crack them out. And so, but really, that's the main thing on my plate right now musically.
And how can people find your music and just find you on social media and website?
Yeah, my website is just jjmcguiganmusic.com. It's just jjmcguigan music.com, and they can check out my music there. They can go to, I'm on Spotify or Amazon, iTunes, and social media. It's just JJ McGuigan on Facebook, and JJ the Songwriter on Twitter. And so, yeah, if you've got any questions or anything about mental health or music or anything, hit me up on that, and be more than happy to talk to anybody on that. Man,
that was awesome interview, JJ. Is there anything lastly you want to tell your listeners, our listeners, and potential fans?
Yeah, just thanks for supporting, and then thanks for supporting just artists in general. And we can't do it without any of you guys. And so it's just one of those things that you're always grateful for. And thank you for having me. And yeah, just keep the music going and everything, and we'll see what happens.
Well, there you have it, guys. This was JJ McGuigan, and make sure you definitely go to his website, jjmcguiganmusic.com, and to spell it is JJMCGUIGAN music.com. And like he said, he's on Amazon, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you support these artists because they're pouring their life and soul into this thing called music. So once again, JJ, I want to say thank you for being on I Am Refocused podcast. And we're going to have you again someday, get some updates.
Definitely sounds good. Thank you for having me, man.
All right. Like I always say, guys, I never want to close this podcast, saying keep God first, stay focused, and peace.
Home sounds like a nice idea to me. Don't tell me that there's nothing out there. This life has had its way with me. Breathing in, home is where I wanna be. And I wonder, why am I all over everywhere, walking circles and acting like I'm going somewhere? Sometimes I feel like I just wanna start this over. And I remember just how far it is we've come. Home sounds like a nice idea to me. Don't tell me that there's nothing out there. This life has had its way with me. Breathing in, home is where I wanna be. Shines its light from outer space. I will take you and we will never turn away. When all is said and done, you will be the only one that I will need for all eternity. Home Sounds like a nice idea to me. Don't tell me that there's nothing out there. This life has had its way with me. Breathing in, home is where I wanna be.